The City of Houston Department of Neighborhoods, improving quality of life.
As the fourth largest city in the nation with a population of 2.2 million, the City of Houston tackles tough challenges to maintain safe, clean neighborhoods across its sprawling urban landscape. Public safety and improving quality of life for Houston residents are top priorities for Houston Mayor Annise Parker.
I organize my administration in four major areas: jobs and economic development, infrastructure, public safety, and quality of life, and then tried to wrap fiscal responsibility around that. And I believe that having great infrastructure is a part of both public safety and quality of life. A lot of our older neighborhoods are falling into disrepair. Neighborhoods have an ebb and flow. There are pockets of poverty, there are challenges in infrastructure, and we're constantly working to try to make sure that we raise the floor for everyone. On the quality of life side, it is about having a community that you can be proud of.
The City of Houston Department of Neighborhoods is charged with city code enforcement and the delivery of services to resolve neighborhood concerns. This is in addition to programs addressing education, gang prevention, international communities, the needs of citizens with disabilities, and volunteer community service.
The Department of Neighborhoods covers this wonderful city of ours. It's more than 600 square miles. We enforce more than 90 violations, anything from junk motor vehicles to early placement of heavy trash to our biggest one, our dangerous buildings.
Good morning.
Our mission at the Department of Neighborhoods is to improve the quality of life in the city of Houston. We have different levels of neighborhoods, some of them are better off than others. The ones that are sort of struggling a little bit are the ones that take up a lot of our time and our focus. We are bound to help them improve their lives.
In 2014, the department's Inspections and Public Service Division conducted well over 85,000 inspections, issued more than 10,000 citations for city code violations, and carried out 2,000 nuisance abatements. In addition, the department attained property owner code compliance in 21,000 cases.
Get your pictures of the roof.
Blight grows, and so we try to sort of get out ahead of it as best we can. When a weeded lot is left to grow, it's abandoned and it gets overgrown, then there will be another one and another one, and that will really bring down a neighborhood very quickly. So we try to get out and get the property owners to do it themselves because it is their responsibility.
We got a tree that fell on the house right there.
But when that doesn't happen, when they fail to do so, and we make every attempt to get the property owner to do it so that we don't have to spend taxpayer money and our efforts to cover a very large city, then we'll go ahead and we'll do it ourselves.
Addressing the dangers posed by blighted abandoned buildings is a priority for the department and one of its toughest challenges.
Our largest task, perhaps, is dangerous buildings. There's quite a complex legal due process that we have to go through. Texas is a property rights state. They have very strong property rights that favor the property owners. And so when we have property owners who aren't taking care of their property, we have to go through a long, complex legal process. We try to get the property owner to take care of the problem themselves, but when they don't, we do step in.
Between the November hearing and our hearing last month, have anything on the property, the deficiencies been corrected? No.
We have as a Building to Standards Commission, they are evaluating certain cases and they're going to be looking at them and listening to the evidence that is presented. And at the end of the day, they will be making a judgment on the time in which is assessed to the owner to comply with, and a hearing order will actually be passed.
The most fun I've been allowed to have as mayor of Houston is getting on a big backhoe and taking down a lighted piece of garbage in a neighborhood. A decaying building becomes a magnet for crime. They often are a fire hazard. The surrounding property becomes unsightly, and that bleeds over into the neighborhood. It pulls down property values in addition to having that criminal element and a place to take root in a neighborhood.
Demolitions are costly. The department's Strike Off Blight program helps recover demolition costs. Under the program, the city takes tax foreclosed properties called strike-offs into trust, brings them into code compliance, and returns them to foreclosure resale. Cost savings help replenish funds for more demolitions and neighborhood improvement projects.
You can see the gas line going through the ditch. Be careful of that.
Reducing blight and the dangerous conditions they pose for residents requires multiple strategies. One approach is a Make Safe program.
There's a dangerous building. It's vacant and open with heavy trash and weeds and nuisance violations. This area, as you can tell, it's predominantly a working class area. This causes a big hazard to the neighborhood. Specifically, a lot of homeless, drug activity. Kids can walk in there and someone can drag a child in there or an elderly citizen.
We've been tearing them down all year. Where we are today is doing a make safe. We are going to clean it up. We're cleaning it up right now, and then we're going to board it up and secure it, and it'll make the neighborhood enormously safer. There are a number of places around here that they're beautifully maintained, and then to have this next to them because people aren't such good neighbors, and we just are trying to step in and help those folks out who are trying to do right. One of the things we prioritize is vulnerable populations, be it elderly or near schools. As you can see, this is near a church, and there are a number of elderly folks in this community, and we try to get out and do this to keep them safer. When we can get the owner to do these are not the city's responsibility. This is our last resort, out doing it ourselves. But we've had many of the owners of these properties comply and secure it and clean it up themselves, and that saves the taxpayers a lot of money.
Another approach for tackling blight is the department's Mow Down program. Carried out in partnership with Keep Houston Beautiful, the program offers community groups nominal fees to mow and maintain eligible abandoned lots in their own neighborhoods.
When we hire a contractor to mow a lot, it can often cost at least $300, $400. So we got our civic clubs involved. And so this way we pay $50 a lot for a civic club to maintain those lots. We've had a huge response. It's cleaned up a lot of our neighborhoods, and it's helping them maintain it because the people in the neighborhoods are the ones who are invested with us, who are working with us and who live there and know what's going on.
The project started off with only 4 lots. Initially, we received those from the city, and now we're all the way up to 136 lots. The problem here is that it's no security, it's no safety for the seniors. Around the area, if you can notice, we have like 10 houses, and all the residents on this street are mostly seniors.
Some groups employ second chance volunteers, giving them an opportunity to work and make a difference in their own neighborhoods.
It's really good now that we have residents who come out and give their time back.
It makes me feel good that people are looking out for us to clean up our community and beautify it and make it, a better place to live and comfortable to live in.
This is a great result after we have seen the lots cut down and people can see the view of the change. We definitely need the Mow Down program in our city.
The neighborhood's Matching Grants program is yet another initiative that supports community improvement projects while encouraging residents to get involved.
We've been working with the city for a number of years. They've helped us with matching grants. We've done beautification along Hillcroft and North and South Braeswood.
The department takes part in many neighborhood cleanup and beautification campaigns year-round in partnership with other city departments, city council offices, civic and youth volunteer groups, and business supporters.
If you have any problem, call 311.
Resident participation is the key to success.
Just be part of the neighborhood for one. Start with your association.
This is lemongrass. This is mint. Oh.
Peppermint.
So if they get involved and engage to the community itself, I mean, just the Department of Neighborhood itself, they have so many programs that helps the community. Like, look at this garden here. It's beautiful.
We've been getting a lot of help from the city of Houston, and we understand there's many families in this area need our help.
Addressing the issues of neighborhoods at risk is a high priority. The solution starts with educating residents about city and community resources.
This department will get involved with youth.
Our Department of Neighborhoods, in my division, we make sure that people are also well connected to social services. We know that there are people that even though they have a job or two, they still need assistance to make it through the end of the month with food. So we make sure that they're well informed, that there's always a food pantry in their neighborhood. They can also contact 211 so they can be connected to those social services that they might need, and also keep them well informed of our services as well.
I'll say that all they have to do is call 311 because they have people that speak Spanish and people that speak English, and they can explain what the process is for every single complaint that you have.
We have multi-layers of prioritizing what we abate and what we tend to. Of course, the first line is 311. People should call 311, and that's really how things get on our radar. This is a very large city, and so we just can't be everywhere all the time. So when we hear from the citizens, we will obviously, that will always get a response. We also work very closely with our council offices. We work closely with the civic clubs because these are the folks who both represent and live in those neighborhoods, and it's what those leaders prioritize, and they're hearing from the folks who live out there, and so we take it from that approach. We also have, obviously, if something's near a vulnerable population, maybe it's some seniors or some maybe near a school or a park where there are children that are likely to pass by there a lot of times, that will always be first.
311 pamphlets.
I know that I've called 311 quite a bit. We've worked with the Office of the Mayor. We've worked with the Department of Neighborhoods consistently to ask them to help us to alleviate situations out here.
It's about priding, and in some cases, re-priding communities.
Our neighborhood is a very historic neighborhood. Independent Heights has been around for quite a long time. Some great people, some great churches, but there is a need for revitalization. There's a need for cleanup. There's also a need for people or community coming together to make that happen.
The property owner, tenants, they have a very important role, and their role is to comply, to make an effort to better the place where they live. We have a good partner that is the City of Houston representatives.
It's very important that we have a good relationship with the community and between the community and the city, so that we can understand each other's needs and be able to have that strong bond whenever we need each other to come out and unite to build the community together.
I think it's very important. A lot of the Asians, unfortunately, think that caring for the family is just caring for the family, immediate family. But I think they need to broaden their horizon and regard the community as the larger family.
The reason why we have such a nice, streets and neighborhoods like this, it's because we're proud.
The folks who take pride in their homes and in their neighborhoods need to know that other people care, and they need to be linked in with each other, and that spreads through the neighborhood.
In order to keep the community together, we have to get involved. That's very, very, very important. You know, for people to get together and have the same vision for their neighborhood and have a love for their community.